Group A has provided us with international derbies, host nation heroics, and even the tournament's oldest goal scorer. But what it hasn't yet gifted us is two confirmed sides in the knockout stages of this first ever Soccer World Cup in the Middle East. Oman have taken one of the spots in the last 16 by bossing the group, and the tournament hosts may be joined by either their Gulf neighbours Qatar or the Italians, but only if they beat the United States here this evening by a hefty margin. All of the action from Group A here in Muscat on the way next, but first we rise for the national anthems of Italy and the United States of America.
Please be upstanding for the national anthem of Italy. Please remain standing for the national anthem of the United States of America.
Italy know what they need to do. The United States just playing for pride. The Italians hoping to progress to the knockout stages of the 2024 Soccer World Cup here in Muscat, Oman. But to do so, they need to beat the USA here by at least 4 clear goals to go through. And if they do that, they will go through at Qatar's expense. If they score 4, it's by the medium of goals scored. If they score 5, on their own accord. Simon Gerlitz and Marek Skera are the two match officials. They've been called into action already tonight, those referees, particularly in the last game between Haiti and France. As for the United States of America, they dominated their group in the 2023 World Cup. They won 3, scored 12, conceded just 1. In 2024, they are out. A small squad, as Luis de Anda, who is player coach, engages in action for the final time with his troops here in Group A against a revved up Italian side who, as they always do, belted out their national anthem with pride and gusto. And they will be up for this. As for the USA, an opportunity to leave the tournament with a second win in as many games after losing to host nation Oman and Qatar. They beat North American rivals Canada by 4-2 in their last game, and so it's down to this final one, of which they are playing for pride. Well, the temperature's still nice and toasty here. Humidity up and around 55%, so it is sticky and sweaty out there, but these two sets of players will know all about that already as we head into these final group stage games this evening. Thanks for joining us wherever you're watching around the world, whether that's on the International Soccer Federation app, where you can keep up to date with all of the scores and all of the action, available now to download on the App Store, or on the Soccer Federation YouTube channel. Great to have you with us right throughout this tournament. My name's Niall McCorn. Alongside me in the commentary box, Frankie Rudland. And Frankie, the task for the Italians is simple: beat the USA and beat them with a thumping.
Well, it is going to have to be a thumping, and the perfect Italian job at that. They saved their skin late on against Qatar. Jorge dos Santos, who is so pivotal for them in everything good that they do, rescued them with a really late strike right at the death. And if they're going to win, they need to win extremely well to stop Group A being dominated from the start in the Middle East.
Well, you're absolutely right. That last gasp draw against Qatar may well prove critical, because it is the Qataris who they will eliminate in the process of going through themselves if they win by 4 goals or more here tonight. It's a simple assignment on paper, but to execute far harder against an American side who hit their straps against the Canadians and are on the move here with the first chance of the game snuffed out by the Italian goalkeeper Mattia D'Abitale.
And that, Niall, is what makes this USA side extremely dangerous. Italy are going to have to commit men forward if they want a big win. We know they need a big win, and by doing so, you expose yourself at the back. It's not a huge pitch in soccer. It doesn't take an awful long time for a side to break and counter you at the other end, and they're going to have to be so cautious that while they've got firm eyes at one end, they don't let it slip at the other.
And as we saw in the last game between Haiti and France, a goal can spring out of nowhere very, very quickly in soccer. That's a foul. Luis Cifuentes felled. And of course, France in the last game secured passage through to the knockout stages, where they will face Brazil. What a game. Whether it's 6-a-side soccer or conventional 11-a-side football, you do not want to miss France against Brazil. And to be honest with you, there are so many games in this tournament that we haven't been able to take our eyes off. As for this evening, and Italy and their hopes, they would have been watching that previous game, Frankie, with interest, because in the end, routine for France, they won 4-1, but for the Italians, a 4-1 result would put them out, not enough.
Yeah, which is, it just tells you everything you need to know about the size of the task the Italians are faced with. It's not easy to go and say, right, smash someone 4-5-0. It's not as easy as that in soccer, and as I said before, by having to do that, by finding themselves in this position, they're going to have to commit. And if they don't score early, and the later on this game goes, they're going to have to throw more and more bodies forward. And as we've seen from plenty of sides already, if that comes to them having to deploy the rush keeper, they'll have no one at home.
Well, they did score 5 past Canada, and looking to find the first against their North American neighbours, the United States. Whistling wide from Jorge dos Santos, who will be the man, no doubt, to lead the attack if the Italians are to execute their orders here this evening in Group A.
He's evergreen, is Dos Santos. Really impressed with him against Qatar. In their previous fixtures, I'd seen him wanting to do it all. He was charging around the pitch like a madman. He's no spring chicken, but he tempered it back against Qatar and just controlled things at his own pace.
It's a good ball in and a great start for Italy, and it's exactly what they needed. And of course, it's Jorge dos Santos. You just knew it would be him. You knew he would have a say, And he has, right from the very off here against the United States, a platform for Italy, 1-0.
Well, it was his goal that gave them even a slight chance of qualification for the round of 16, and there he is again, cropping up with what could be another vital one. Just took the sting out the cross and cushioned it into the back of the net. Excellent measured finish.
That's a loose throw out from the goalkeeper, and it's drawn a foul. Thiago Grippi conceding it, as Gordon Gilliatt goes over, and so the United States have the free kick. Well, inside 4 minutes, the Italians on the mark, and they'll be hoping to get on a roll, because that's what you need to do, especially when the pressure's on.
It's a dream start for the Italians. An early goal, vital, and if they can add a second, even more important. What they want to do is get this USA side's heads down, knock the confidence out of them. If they could do that and make them feel like there's little point in them playing.
Another effort, it's in! It's in! Immediate response from the United States. And if Jorge dos Santos is the man for Italy, David Lopez is the man for the United States. It's a leveller, and now the Italians will have to score 5 tonight.
Just as we were talking about Italy scoring a second, USA crop up with one of their own. It's a dagger to the heart of the Italians, and their early goal now counts for nothing. They're back in exactly the same place they were just moments ago. Well worked set piece, but why, Niall? Why was a man left completely unmarked just shy of the penalty area?
Bit of a head scratcher from the Italians' perspective. This game now effectively 35 minutes long for Italy. 35 minutes to score 4 goals. Made a good start in the first 5, but also conceding in the first 5. Headed inside by Luis de Anda, flicked on by Italians. And over to the right side now, and it whistles past the post. Ricky Serrano is the goalkeeper for the United States. Diego Diaz did keep net in the first 2 group stage games, but as we see David Lopez on the right of your screen there, equalising for the United States. They're not too bothered who scores the goals, they're just keen to put a dagger through the heart of the Italians' chances. Good chance to play a ball into the area, which was met by the United States' Luis Cifuentes. Kick in to be taken by Vega, just rolls it in delicately. Dos Santos tries to smash it back into the box. It's an Italian corner. Only one white figure inside the area. Dos Santos on the edge of it and whistling another shot goalwards, this time with his left boot.
You can already see how integral he is to that Italy side. Everything they do goes through him. He's the conduit, the conductor, the man that makes them tick.
Well, they have scored in every single one of their group games now, the Italians. Well, they need to add to their tally tonight. Just wonder whether playing after the opening ceremony last Friday night against host nation Oman might have had a bit of an impact. It was a vibrant atmosphere inside the ground. They never really got going, the Italians. Of course, this is the first ever 6-a-side World Cup to be held here in the Middle East. Down the line. And back to Dos Santos. Driven towards goal by Mehdi DeVito. It looks like they've all been encouraged to try and take shots from all angles, Frankie.
Well, this is the trouble when you need to score so many goals. To have the chance of qualifying.
Well, the goalkeeper can't hold it.
You're forced into taking shots that you wouldn't normally take from angles you wouldn't normally take them. And it's going to be so hard. As we saw last game, France forced things at times. They looked nervous, they looked rushed. It's going to be really difficult for the Italians not to just want that instant gratification and be patient.
I just wonder how this game will unfold in the later stages. Both sides have small squads, just 10 players. Of course, the quota for squads in this World Cup is 15 players per side, but only 10 brought to this World Cup, and the United States have a player coach wearing number 5 in Luis de Anda, who scored in their last game, incidentally. So he's doing double duty for his team, as they have picked up a couple of injuries as well along the way during this World Cup. Corner driven in, just takes a nick on its way through. Grippy. Felipe Fumes just trying to squeeze it into the penalty area. At the moment, United States comfortable doing the defending. 10 minutes played, 1 apiece. Italy need another 4 goals to go through. Delicately done. Can they find the angle? They're trying their best. Never settled for Jorge dos Santos. And thankfully for the United States, goalkeeper Ricky Serrano was able to claim it.
I was just questioning whether they'd be able to stay patient, bide their time, look for the angles and not force things. And they've responded with a really flowing move there, the Italians. A couple of opportunities to shoot, but they made the right decisions. And Dos Santos really unfortunate in the box, just squirmed away from him.
Back to goal for De Vito. And Dos Santos striking goalwards again. It's good centre-forward play from Eddie De Vito, not necessarily a conventional lone striker, as you would call it in 11-a-side, but...
And wait for runners to arrive. Usually you can fashion a shooting chance, and they did there, the Italians.
De Vito. Castellana. Swept out towards Felipe Fumes. Back heel for Grippy. America up to the task so far. The Italians still come. Can they squeeze it in? No, they can't. Well, it looked for all the world that that was going to be 2-1 Italy. The United States clinging on.
How have they not put the ball in the back of the net there?
And here they come, America. Up the other end, forcing a save out of Darbitale. Well, that's what you were talking about, Frankie. The openness of this game as Italy tried to chase those goals that will see them through to the knockouts.
A massive opportunity, especially by the standards of Dos Santos. He's got 4 already at this World Cup, and really he should have had 5 there. But it was brilliant from the Italians, wasn't it? Just working it around the corner again, finding that byline, finding the ball back across the face of goal.
Well, they did manage to get through their group in 2023 in Germany, the Italians. And they're trying to get through their group in 2024 as well. And so far being denied by Ricky Serrano, who has played both outfield and in goal for the United States in this tournament. Given away by Grippy, but one back by him. It's a good pass. And a first-time ball from De Vito. And there's Dos Santos, and there's Serrano again. Is it going to be one of those nights for the Italians? Because United States are at the other end. Oh, it's wasteful. Volley lifted over the top by David Lopez. And had he caught that more cleanly, Frankie, the Italians could well have been in trouble.
One of the most dangerous things you can do in soccer now is spurn a chance. Because while you've committed all those players forward, there's always a chance of a counter. And Dos Santos has spurned a couple of beauties in these last few minutes. You would bank on him scoring.
And a great chance for America here. Goalkeeper down and away off the line by Italy. Well, it all looked casual. I'm not sure it quite unfolded that way. And we've already had an exciting opening 14 minutes to this contest in Group A. Remember, only the Italians can get through by winning this game. For America, it's just about pride. And they've shown plenty of that so far, the United States.
We've already seen one team attempt to spoil a party tonight, haven't we? Haiti taking a first half lead against the French, who came back strong.
Well, many of these United States players based in the southern states, many of them in Texas. And so it will please them to learn that the 2025 Soccer World Cup, which was announced this afternoon, will be held in Mexico. Cancun will be the venue. And so something to look forward to for all of those teams that are part of the Americas Confederation. And of course the United States as well, who do have that Mexican streak running through their side. Already eyes turning towards the next World Cup, no doubt, for the USA, as they have been eliminated from this one here in Oman. There's certainly a team to be feared in the last World Cup in Essen. Just hasn't transpired for them in the same way this time around, has it, Frankie?
No, and disappointing that.
Given away by Italy, and they've been punished. And that's what can happen when you're careless at the back. The United States have scored, and that uphill task for Italy now becomes a mountain. 2-1.
Just as I was about to say, it's a shame we haven't seen the best of the United States until late in these group stages. They come up with a goal. They've not read the script, have they? It was the Italians who needed the goals, and the USA have two of them.
How will Italia respond? In front after 4 minutes, behind after 16. Still plenty of time left for them to achieve their goals.
A tally that now stretches to 6 now that they need.
Yeah, precisely, but the chances of that happening growing slimmer by the second. Well defended by the United States again. Well, as it stands, Oman are being joined by Qatar in the knockout stages of this Middle Eastern World Cup. The Qataris, no doubt, will be watching on with glee. Some glum looks on Italian faces.
There would have been an inquisition in the Qatari camp after they let Italy creep back into that 1-1 draw. Never comfortable when you're waiting on the rest of your work to be completed by another side, but the USA are giving them
with the effort, bounces down off the bar and perhaps in. Well, we'll take a look at it. We will take a look at it. Look at this effort from David Lopez. Off the crossbar and down, and hard to tell from that angle whether it was in or not. We will have RVAS. Of course, everyone's looking up to the big screen away to our left here in the stadium. They will have seen the replays. And we will now have another look before we get restarted to see whether the Americans have stretched their lead to 3-1.
It was the dip that deceived Darbatale, wasn't it?
Well,
no goal, the decision.
Yeah, check complete. No goal.
He must have been millimetres away from scoring. Darbatale completely planted. Well beaten.
Dos Santos. Italy in, and a man over, and a penalty. Well, here's a chance for the Italians. Well, remember, every incident of note like this will be checked during this World Cup, and I don't think America can have any complaints there, Frankie.
No, look clear cut, neat touch into the box to get away from his man, brought to the turf, and it's a lifeline just before the half-time whistle.
How crazy is this game of six-a-side soccer? Off the crossbar, down onto the line, but not a goal for the United States. Not a minute later, a soccer penalty for Italy.
Someone's watching over the Italians somewhere, aren't they? As I said, it would have been millimetres away from crossing that white line.
Well, it will be Jorge dos Santos to take this for the Italians. Remember the rules here. Soccer penalties, 10 seconds, starting from the centre spot. The goalkeeper is not allowed to leave his area. Here we go. Dos Santos. One way, then the other. And scores. Expertly scores. And they needed that discipline and experience there. From what could have been 3-1, is now 2-2.
Well, that's the 6th of the tournament for Dos Santos. Excellent play from him. Sits the goalkeeper down as we just watch a replay. Ball roll. See you later. Back of the net. We've seen so many players attempt that. Not few can put it off. Dos Santos can.
Well, we approach half-time. Can Italy squeeze in another one? That will certainly make things interesting in the second period. They'll try their best. That's a lovely flick. No decision. So it will be a goal kick. Effectively then, the Italians' task is exactly the same. Score 4 goals. Except instead of 40 minutes, they'll have 20 minutes to do it, Frankie.
And if they are going to score 4 more, you would bet that Jorge dos Santos will have a big say in all of them. Where would they be without him? 2 today.
I'm getting flashbacks here. I'm getting deja vu.
Same position, isn't
David
it?
Lopez has just put the ball down on the exact same spot. This time it's low and it whistles all the way through, and that will be half-time. Well, take a breather. What a first half of soccer. Here in Group A, Italy knew they needed to score 4 goals or more and beat the Americans by that total to go through to the knockout stages. At the moment, it hasn't unfolded in the way they wanted. 2 apiece. America, a thorn in the Italian side. Jorge dos Santos has scored twice, once from a soccer penalty and once in the opening 4 minutes, but a couple of American goals have put the cat amongst the pigeons. Half-time, Frankie, it's 2-2.
Yeah, well, we said it, didn't we? When you've got a gun for so many goals, you're always going to be open at the back. And the United States have exposed Italy twice so far. And you have to be honest now. You do wonder whether Italy have the quality at both ends to get the 4 goals required without conceding any more. The United States looking very dangerous on the counter-attack. They've got quality of their own. Dos Santos really feels like the only difference maker for Italy. Aside from that, I would argue these 2 teams are pretty level.
I think that's the key point. At both ends, defensively, are the Italians stern enough to keep out the United States while scoring for themselves without reply? That is the key. They'll need to show discipline in defence. We haven't seen that so far this tournament. They have conceded in every single game they've played in the group stages.
We'll just take this goal here as a prime example. Free kick. Italy have time to get themselves set. David Lopez, why? Why? Because he afforded the freedom of Italy's half. They know they need to score goals. They also know they need to keep them out. And they've just switched off. And we saw from another set piece later on in the game, Lopez crashes one off the underside of the crossbar. They're dangerous, the United States, and at the minute the Italians just aren't switched on at the back. Chance after chance for that man Dos Santos. He does have 2. There's another one here. He could have had more. Drawn some really fine saves, hasn't he, from the USA stopper.
I mean, that's another poor piece of defending, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And look, similar to the free kick, Italy had switched off. They allowed Lopez the freedom of their half to fire in.
Do you know what I don't like about that goal? As we see the free kick that comes off the underside of the bar. I mean, that's so close. It's so hard to tell whether it was in or not. Here's the foul and the infringement for the soccer penalty, which Dos Santos duly dispatches. But just going back to that second United States goal, Italy give the ball away, and the player who loses the ball doesn't show the intensity or the drive to go and close the ball down and win it back.
No.
It's almost as if he had thrown the towel in.
And if it's goals you need to get through, you can't just focus on one end of the pitch. It's easy to say, look, we need four to go through. Let's go guns blazing, all out attack. Well, you need a goal difference of 4. And that means not conceding at the back. And that means no sloppy errors like the one we saw there. And it means being switched on from simple set plays, because you cannot allow routine opportunities for the Americans, because they've got the quality to take them. We've seen the left boot of that Lopez a couple of times. He looks dangerous. And it's going to be a really big ask from this Italy side to get the 4 required goals in this second period. Just 20 minutes to do it. They'll need a goal every 5 minutes on average. And you just feel the longer this one goes on, all eyes are going to go towards Dos Santos. They're going to try and work the ball to him as much as they can. And if I was the United States manager, I'd be saying, mark him out of the game, and you've nullified Italy.
Well, if the Italians are to do the unthinkable and score 4 without reply, at the very least in this second half, if they go through to the knockout stages, they will face the winner of Group H, and they will be first on tomorrow morning. So, lots to think about. Not only that, the winners of Group H have been confirmed as Croatia. There's your reward, lads. Go and smash 4 past the Americans without response. 9 o'clock wake-up call to take on Croatia.
It's a tough old schedule, and it's an unforgiving fixture should the Italians do the job. Croatia have looked excellent in this tournament. They started a little bit slow, Croatia, but they grew into it. But we know what pedigree they have in small-sided football and indeed soccer, a really dangerous side. And it's not much a reward, that, is it? Few hours, Kip, then up to play Croatia.
Well, the Italians got through their group in Essen last year as a third-place team in their World Cup group. They then lost to semi-finalists Brazil in the round of 32. There is no round of 32 here in Muscat. That's been done away with. We are straight to the last 16 with 2 teams progressing per group. Good start to the half for the Italians. And Diego Diaz is back in net for the United States on at half-time and called into action straight away. Unbelievable. Away off the line by America. Well, Dos Santos thought for sure that he had scored. A third for Italy and a third for himself for the night. But America keep it off the line.
Just watch this one. There has to be more conviction from Dos Santos. He had so much of the goal to aim at, and he drags his effort back to that left-hand corner.
Needed more power, I think, didn't it?
It did. Power, direction. As I say, he's diverted an effort. He had so much of the goal to aim at. He's gone for the one corner where USA can snap back.
Still a remarkable stop on the line, wasn't it? Imagine if Italy score 3 and they think back to that moment. Could become a key point in this match. Good turn from the USA. Good sliding intervention from Felipe Fumes, but he couldn't keep it in. Interesting that America have found their goal-scoring touch, though, Frankie. After being beaten 1-0 by Oman, 4-0 by Qatar. They smashed 4 of their own past the Canadians.
That's it, just too little, too late from the USA.
They were, in fact, the last team, technically, to score a goal at this World Cup. Of course, some teams were handed default victories after a no-show from Kuwait in this tournament, and the Haitians taking their time to get here to Oman before they did eventually compete. Oh, that's poor. Well, the goalkeeper wants a foul. I'm not sure he was going to get one, Diabitale. And it was cleared off the line by Italy. Now, what have they got in response? Punched away by the palms of Diego Diaz.
Weak, that was from Diabitale. If you're going to take the risk and stride out your net, you're going to need to be stronger than that.
Just came out of nowhere, which is so often the case in soccer.
Ramirez just rushed it, didn't he? Hit the keeper well beaten. after nicking it off him.
Good ball for Dos Santos. What a save from Diaz. Really important right leg. He just threw it towards the ball and did his job.
Great save, but Dos Santos, he's got two. He could have had the 5 or 6 required. Had chance after chance. There's Dos Santos. Again, another one spurned.
Give and go from the Italians. Caputo. Fumes. In towards Dos Santos. Lovely flick. Didn't drop for a white shirt. Here come the United States. Hidalgo. He's going to run out of space. Galenica on for Italy, as is Medi De Vito. Remember, rolling substitutions in this World Cup, on and off as many times as you like. You can only swap one player for another. Could even swap your goalkeeper if you like, which I dare say we might see, the old rush keeper, before long if Italy are in dire need of some goals.
That'll liven things up, won't it? You just wonder how long the Italians will leave it before sacrificing Darbatale.
Plenty of space here for Grippi and Dos Santos. Well, the first touch was superb, the second not so, as he flashed it over the top. And we can chalk that down as another chance for Italy.
He's had a catalogue of them, Dos Santos, hasn't he? Look at that, excellent control, takes him away from his marker. Just leant back, he was falling over as he took the strike on his right foot, lifted over the crossbar. Just wonder, with every chance, whether that will suck a little bit more life out of Italy. They're going to have to start taking him soon.
Well, we're up to 25 minutes now here in Group A. Still Italy 2, United States 2, which means Italy, who need 4 goals, they need to win by 4 clear goals at the very least against the USA to go through to the knockout stages in just 15 minutes. Galenica. De Vito lurking on the edge. Here's Dos Santos. Now Grippi. De Vito drops deeper, as does Dos Santos. America digging in. Those blue and red shirts behind the ball. Trying to frustrate Italy. Dos Santos. Nice touch. Just tried to scrape it goalwards. Snuffed out by America. Grippi comes again for the Italians. Driven effort and driven in. A third for Italy. A quarter of the way there.
It's Caputo, the scorer, and it was brilliant footwork. Dragged back, flicked past his marker, smashed, took a nick. You just see here, takes a wicked deflection. Completely wrong foot. Diaz in that net for USA. Italy, well, you said they had a mountain to climb. They've taken their first few steps there.
This is a nice run from Magallanes. Yes, they've reached base camp so far. The summit still in the mist and fog way above. Magallanes for the United States of America. Diaz has lost this. Great chance. They have to score. They do score. Italians now halfway there. Remarkable scenes here in Group A. Goals galore, and goals the Italians are greedy for.
They've left base camp now, haven't they? They're starting to ascend. It's a goalie's gift that Italy gobbled up. Nicely lifted into the path of Dos Santos by Caputo, who scored just moments ago. And Dos Santos has his hat-trick. And Italy, well, we thought it might be impossible. It's not looking so much now.
Now they only need 2 goals. Remember, if Italy win by 4 clear goals, they'll go through on the medium of goals scored, and they will dump out Qatar in the process. At the moment, the Qataris are quivering. They know that their place in the knockout stages is at risk. Given away, and a chance again for Italy. De Vito can't make the most of it, and now bodies forward. It's 2-on-2. Make that 3-on-2. Magallanes, and those white shirts rush back, but it's not dead for America. Scraped away, and Dos Santos could be in one-on-one here. Dos Santos saved by Diaz.
What a moment that could have been for the Italians. They would have found themselves needing one with just 10 minutes left to play. It's Dos Santos again who raced through, really stretched now this game. One-on-one with the keeper, saved well by Diaz.
The Italians now up to 8 shots on target. Here might be another one. They've scored again. They've scored again. 3/4 of the way there. Just one more required. And they are through to the knockout stages. 5-2 to Italy.
The goals are coming like London buses now for Italy, and it's a really neat 1-2. And there is Grippi, the man who takes them within touching distance of the promised land, the knockout stages.
Shaky from Diaz again in the United States goal.
They've crumbled apart, the United States.
They've still got 10.5 minutes to do it, the Italians. Remember, if the United States score, though, that changes everything again. De Vito given away, and now America come forward. Lujan gifted straight back to Grippi. He's on his own here, Grippi. What excitement, what drama. This is what soccer is all about. This is what this World Cup has given us so far on the final day of group stage games. Into the knockouts tomorrow. But will Italy be there at 9 a.m? They might well be. Brilliant! And poked behind for a corner. Well, that could have been the moment for the Italians, but it wasn't just yet.
They thought they were there, and they so almost were, but for the boot of Cifuentes. Just look at him there, stretching a leg across to deny them what would have been a quite spectacular goal with 10 to play. Still they need one, Italy. And they're going to check it.
Well, RVAS is in play, the referee's video assistance system. We're just going to have a look here and see what the situation is.
Is it adjudged as a slide? Cifuentes, the man coming under question.
Alejandro Vega, the Italian player, making a stretch for the ball. Well, the referee's thoroughly checking through this.
Well, look at this now. They just subbed Dos Santos off, but with the possibility of a penalty. They want to get him back on.
And De Vito concedes to his senior the opportunity to plant the ball on the centre circle. This is close. Hard to decide exactly whether it is a soccer penalty or not. Remember, we've already seen one in this game. From what I'm being told, it's a penalty. A penalty for Italy. Well, this is dramatic. The United States bemused, perplexed. The Italians ready. Ready for an opportunity to score a goal which would take them 4 goals clear of the USA in this game and put them on the verge of qualification to the knockout stages. Ten seconds and a soccer goal away from Dos Santos and putting Italy in prime position, but he takes it early and Diaz saves.
Bites his knuckles, Dos Santos. He was so cool in dispatching the first one, decides to take this one early, fires straight at Diaz.
The first penalty he took was outstanding. That one, not so much. He's already done plenty for his side this World Cup, plenty for his side tonight, but more work still to do. Galinica. nudge towards Dos Santos. Here he is. Well, digs it out towards the far post.
You can see the intention. It's looking for that sweet spot, looking for the far post. No one had read it.
Given away straight to Grippi, but gifted back to the USA. And here they come, looking to sting the Italians, break those Italian hearts. Blocked high into the night sky in Muscat. Off the backtracking Dos Santos, and a corner to the USA. Now those nerves will be jangling for those in white. The ball would much rather be up the other end for them. Good tackle from Grippi. Dos Santos, what can he make of this? Dos Santos, on he goes. Well, the angle was always narrowing for him. He was getting wider and wider and wider and could never wrap his boot around it.
Danced his way through Dos Santos, didn't he? Just forced onto that unfavoured right boot. Sliced it wide, another opportunity for him. He's got 3. He could have had 6.
Ball in from Lopez, hits the side netting. Caputo back on for the Italians. Fumes replaced. Dos Santos isn't coming off though. He is the main man. Into the box it goes. Grippi screaming for it on the edge. Poke towards Dos Santos, it'll just be a kick in. Grippi. Vega. This is Grippi. Dos Santos! They've done it! Italy have scored again! They are 4 goals clear. They are going through. Just when you thought Socca couldn't shock you anymore, it serves up this. Unbelievable.
Dos Santos has 4 and Italy have the 4 they need to progress to the round of 16. I said it would have to be the perfect Italian job. It's looking like it might be. Really nice ball across the face. Dos Santos there, turns it home. And Italy, who were drawing 2-2 at half-time, find themselves 6-2 up, and still they have 5 to play.
Not quite time yet to get out the Prosecco and the pizza for the Italians, but we're not far off. Another couple of goals will make this comfier for Italy. And they might find one of those here. Nudged wide by Galinica. We've already had 8 goals in this game. And with 4 minutes to play, you wouldn't bet against there being a fair few more.
Dazzling stuff from the Italians. And I must admit, I was sceptical. But wow, Socca shocks you sometimes. It humbles you. You're humbled so often as a commentator.
Lofted forward by the United States. Can't control it.
It's a humble pizza pie that I will have to swallow if things stay as they are.
Well, Italy scored their opening goal in the 4th minute. Then they were pegged back. Then they went 2-1 down, then 2-2. And then a flurry in the second half, 4 in a row. They are 6-2 up. And they have found that 4-goal cushion that they required to dump Qatar out of the group. Lovely turn that from Luis de Anda. And a yellow card. So Italy now with 5 players. And so the tension rises again. And the game twists and turns again.
Well, that would be drama, wouldn't it? The United States can capitalise on this. They've done all the hard running, the Italians. Can the United States tear up that script once more?
Good save by the goalkeeper. Chested down by Grippi. Nice ball down the line, but it'll be collected by the United States and Gilead. Italy just willing Gilead to shoot, and he does. And that will soak up some precious seconds for the Italians.
There may well be a few glasses of vino raised Jorge dos Santos tonight.
Grippy can't bring it under. Well, this game's still far from dead, even though there are just 2 minutes to play. Italy gasping for a return to a full quota of players. They will have to defend against the USA. A goal for America puts the Italians out. They're hunting for it. They sense a bit of a wounded animal. The Italians down a player. Big block from Dos Santos.
Let's get a threadbare squad, do Italy. And they will not need, with a potential game against the Croats tomorrow morning, any more running than necessary put into those tired legs out there. Legs that have already given so much to achieve what looked impossible when the United States took a 2-1 lead.
Well, this will not do the Italian nerves any good whatsoever. We will have overtime. Caputo being stretched. And he seems to be okay. Still, the United States have it. Simbin not yet fully served by Italy. Brilliant challenge from Caputo. And Dos Santos will try his best, as Diaz was out of his box and high up the pitch. For the United States now, it's all about damaging Italian hopes.
They're back to their 6.
Yeah, that Simbin has now expired. So for Italy, we've played 40 minutes. We'll play a little bit more, I'm sure. Just about resisting this American attack. That will do nicely. Those seconds will feel like hours for the Italians. They are on the cusp of qualification to the knockout stages. Lifted high into their half. Caputo rises. Luis de Anda holds it. And it's a brilliant sliding stop. Superb from Caputo, because there was an American player lurking. Cifuentes for the United States. We've played close to a minute of overtime here. Diaz. Forward to Gilliatt. It's back for Diaz. Italy don't need to rush out and block this. They just need to stand firm. And they are through. Diaz whistles wide.
And they will take that, the Italians. Hopeful from Diaz. We've seen some goals scored by goalkeepers, and that one was nowhere near. Darbatale would do well to take his sweet time over the resulting goal kick.
He's time wasting at this point, Darbatale, but who can blame him? The referees will add that time on. A final surge from the United States, perhaps. Gilliatt. Brilliant from Dos Santos. Just belts it out of the stadium. We've played 2 minutes, more than the 40. And there is the final whistle. And it's a whistle that signifies Italians' progression to the knockout stages. They needed to beat the United States by 4 clear goals. And when they were 2-1 down, it looked like they had no chance. But stand up, those in white. Stand up, Jorge dos Santos. What a performance. They've dumped out Qatar in the process. And Italy will play Croatia at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. A performance for the ages. Italy 6, United States 2.
One of the underdog stories of this World Cup. so far. Unbelievable from the Italians. When they were 2-1 down, you wouldn't have given them even the slightest of chances. And in what was a crazy 15 minutes in the second half, they turned it all around. They needed to win by 4 clear goals. They made it harder for themselves by conceding 2. Well, that's fine. We'll go and score 6.
I'm not sure they even know the Italians. They're not exactly celebrating like a side that are through to the last 16. Well, they'll go over and absorb the supports they've been given from the stands. Frankie will go over and I'm sure get a word with those of Italian persuasion, but what a game. So many goals. Well, I'm not sure the Italians are entirely sure that they're through to the last 16 based off of their reactions. But having just done some quick additional maths to check the group, having second-guessed ourselves in the commentary box, we can confirm Qatar are out and the Italians are through. And Frankie, I think, is going to go and deliver the news. Stay with us because more soccer action on the way next.
Well, wow, what a game. You needed to win by 4 clear goals, and at 2-1 down, that looked like a long way off, but you pulled it back. What an incredible team performance.
Thank you for everybody here. It's a difficult game because their team is good. Raining so much. The first half is not good for us. We make a goal and then we take a goal 30 seconds after. But in the second half, we make the mind. We need play. And we play with the concentration. And we do the 4 goals and I hope we go to the next stage.
When you were 2-1 down, were there moments that you didn't believe and it crept into your mind that maybe it wasn't going to happen?
We believe every time. Yesterday when Oman win, we believe when we start this. And we come here today to play with this in our mind. We need to make 4 goals. And we believe it, and I believe, and all team believe it, which one. And because we make this, in the second half, we do the 150% for our body.
And just a word on Jorge dos Santos. Wow, he pulled you back into it late against Qatar and 4 goals today. How good is he as a player and how important is he for this Italy side?
I don't know, my friend. But the important now is the other game. Now is before is the I don't know the name in English, but now we think only in front.
Yeah.
So what happened before today is for other year.
Well, it will be Croatia you play, and it'll be a tough test, and it's going to be tomorrow morning. Not long for you guys to rest. Do you feel fresh and ready?
Now we have, I think, 12 hours to play tomorrow. But now we think we need to take it happy for today. And after 12,
Yeah!
and after 12 o'clock, we think in the Croatia. Croatia is a good team. It's a good team for win this tournament. But we need to play. we need plays. I think it's a good game for tomorrow.
Look, I'll let you go and celebrate. You deserve it. Fantastic result.
Need only one thing in Portuguese. I want to play, speak in Portuguese one thing. Família, obrigado. Quem assistiu, obrigado de verdade. Não é fácil estar aqui, não é fácil estar longe, jogar com muitas pessoas, poucas pessoas no time, mas nós estamos aí, se Deus quiser, passamos para a próxima fase. Obrigado pela torcida. Valeu, Brasil. Obrigado. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time. Go and celebrate. You deserve it. We'll see you again tomorrow morning. Well, Italy, they did it against all odds. The Italians have pulled off the perfect Italian job to make it through to the next round, the knockout stages of this, the 2024 Soccer World Cup. We'll have a brief pause now, but don't go anywhere because the soccer is still coming thick and fast here on our final day of group stages.